Hello, so I'm Michel Lipkes, the artistic director of FICUNAM, the International Film Festival of the UNAM University in Mexico City, which is on this occasion, in this 11th edition, it's going to be a 100% virtual edition due to the continuing crisis of the COVID virus. So one year ago, which was my last trip outside of Mexico, I had the honor and the greatest memory, of course, of attending Rotterdam as a jury in the Bright Future competition, where I saw the film that Cristina, Isabella, and Arya made called A Rifle in a Bag. The jury was struck by the cinematographic strength and the humanity of the film, and it was recognized, of course, in the award ceremony. And now we have the luck and the chance in FICUNAM to be able to have you here in this dialogue, and of course to be able to share the film with Mexican audiences, which I'm sure will connect very much with the film and will recognize themselves inside of it. So thank you again. And first of all, I would like to ask about your pragmatic approach to filmmaking. You are part of a collective that is called the No Cut Film Collective, and the film is credited as a triple direction between the three of you. So I would like to know, first of all, what is the No Cut Film Collective, and how do you approach this particular way of making movies? Welcome and thank you very much. Who wants to answer?
Complicated at the beginning. I guess I can start. So No Cut Film Collective was co-founded by us three right after we graduated from Doc Nomads, which is a program in documentary filmmaking, a master course that takes place in 3 European countries during the course of 2 years. So after meeting in Doc Nomads and working together on several student films, we had the idea and we felt the urge to continue to work together. So we co-founded our collective, No Cut, with the intention to make make collaborative films in the sense that we did in A Rifle and a Bag, which means to be collaborative authors in directing, but that means that we want to be involved in every aspect of filmmaking, not only the ones that are traditionally assigned to a director. Because we did work in this guerrilla style during our student years, and because documentary filmmaking is as such that you many times work in small teams, and these small teams are very much involved in every aspect, it suited us, this way of working, and we wanted to make it our reality of working after graduating and after living a sort of utopia in Doc Nomads.
Yeah, and I would add to what Christina said that definitely like the Doc Nomads experience in a way trained us into thinking about filmmaking as transcultural. And in order, because we were from 3 different countries and we knew that we were going back home, we wanted to keep this as an asset that we have. And so we decided that it's something that we wanted to promote in our work, but also to help and to empower other authors that might work with us, and to keep this in the world kind of a presence, like not to be binded necessarily to one country, but to collaborate.
Thank you very much. Arya, anything to add?
I think it's what Isa and Christina said. So yeah, it was basically like these guys said that we really wanted to take it forward. If there can, like, we wanted to see how much more we can collaborate. Also, in the beginning, right after our college, we did not want to make films on our own because we had been working together. So this was a natural way of extending our partnership in a way.
Beautiful, thank you very much. So, talking about the film, the film speaks about a family that is led by Somi, the mother, Sukram, the father, and the two kids. They are ex-Naxalite guerrilla activists, and the film shows their daily struggle as they try to find a place in society whose system doesn't let them exist with social freedom and dignity. How did you felt compelled to film this film in particular? Was it the subject at first, or did you come across Somi and the family? How was the approach, the inspiration?
So should I go? Okay. So actually, right after our college, Isabella and Christina both came to visit me in India, and three of us started researching, and we researched quite extensively over a period of 3 months. And then towards the end of our trip, we were visiting one of my family friends, who is actually the doctor in the film. And we were in this village, and then we were trying to explore what all was going on in the village when we came across the settlement. And we just met Somi maybe for a couple of hours in the morning when we had gone to see the settlement, but she really struck a chord with us. So actually, after that, these guys had to return, and then we could only go back after a few months. But we really went back just to look for her. Like, we had no idea if we would find her again. We had no idea if we will be able to continue with it. But I think our first encounter with her was so strong, and that all the three of us felt the need to kind of see how it goes. And luckily, she was there, and we met her again. And then that's how we got to know Sukhram. That's how then we got to know her kid, Dadu. Then the second child came along, and then we kept filming.
Yes, I can imagine. She has such a cinematographic strength, and she's such a constructive force somehow, and the relationship with Shukram also is very complementary. No, somehow they really are a very human match, and they reflected very beautifully upon the camera. The film is sorry about this. The film is very much based between it's an exchange between people, between the family members and people who are part of the system. No, and the film combines, of course, like a very rigorous visual system that makes us witness their lives as if it's with a visual order that makes us think that we are sort of watching a fiction, you know, but the truthfulness that they project in their exchanges is never gives us, of course, any doubt about the reality which we are seeing. So both these aspects struck me, because even though, of course, the visual style has such a beautiful order, the contrast for me is there. So what led you especially towards this this visual form or this cinematographic form, and and also how elaborated were the scenes, how spontaneous or non-spontaneous, or did you combine it? I hope it's clear. Sorry.
I can start. Well, for the visual approach, we employed the sequence shot, as you noticed, which means that we have scenes that are like self-containing in one shot. And this is something that we are, let's say, researching, investigating for a while in our cinematic language pursuit, let's say. And the strength of this sequence shot for me is that it allows you to witness firsthand how a certain flow of energy is built there in the real time of the shot, which means that you are able to witness something unmeditated by montage, which automatically makes it more authentic, in a way as authentic as it can be in such a manipulative form as filmmaking. So this was important and was also influenced by the fact that we didn't understand anything as we were filming. None of us, not even Arya, because they speak the tribal languages of Gondi and Madhya. So yeah, it was let's say at times it was a surprise that we would find out only in the editing when we would go back. And other times, indeed, we prepared the scene beforehand, which means we decided on certain themes or subject of discussion based on things that were happening around them, of course. And this is how we managed to film certain scenes. Others are completely spontaneous, and the film is a mix. The final film is a mix of these two approaches. And with Somi, it was great to collaborate because she had the energy to bring the other one inside the scene, and it was really truly collaborative work with her. It was us three and her. So we really felt like the film was made by the four of us.
Thank you, Cristina. Something else?
Tommy was like really, I mean, we did have, like, before starting filming, we did have like an idea of what kind of film we wanted to make. And, but of course we wouldn't have pursued it as such a rigorous stylistic choice if it wouldn't have emerged in a way. And Somi was really like the key to everything, because as Cristina said, we really work with her, and we were like sometimes even discussing like together what she wanted to film, like what did she need to film about her story, because she really took it on her, like understanding how important it is to tell a story like hers. And she always had this vision of people will look at this and hopefully they will understand that there are many people like me and it's not just about me. So she was really not only involved on a personal level because it was her story and it was her kids and she was very driven into it. It was also, she also had a vision about what a film like this could mean, even if like the audience is never like so big, but it's like big enough, let's say. So yeah.
Thank you. Certainly the film seems like a labor of observation and patience and dedication to and commitment to the subject that you are portraying. Was it a difficult film to to make, taking into consideration that it's such a sensitive and critical theme, and that you were there like for long periods of time? Was it easier or complicated?
I think foremost it was very exciting. I mean, yes, there were difficulties, and yes, it does require some amount of patience. But I think, like Cristina and Isabella said earlier, because it was with Somi, because it was us working together, there was a huge component of excitement. So in moments we would feel tired, but there was always the something inside us that just knew that we have to keep on going, we have to keep on filming, we have to keep on exploring with her, because it's also interacting with her. Making a film this way was very much new for us, and that was also one of the excitements. At the same point of time, who Somi is was also exciting. So yeah, that's what I feel.
Yeah, and then maybe in terms of like difficulties in filming because of the sensitive subject, like we were blessed by the doctor in the film, Arya's family friend, because he was really like our lighthouse, in the sense that he knows the region, like he was from there and is incredibly highly regarded by the community. So we would always refer to him asking, is this dangerous? Are we in danger ourselves? Are we in danger the characters, most importantly? So we would always have him as a sort of guide, which also made so much easier for us to navigate there, because of course it's a very remote area and we were quite visible, let's say, like you hardly wouldn't notice us. But then also because we spent a lot of time, eventually it became like our presence became quite natural, and that also helped quite a lot. I mean, everybody was very welcoming, actually, even if we were there doing this weird thing and quite unexpected. But yeah, definitely without like this sorts of support, it would have been much harder for sure.
Great, thank you. Even though we know, I mean, of course, since the beginning, the context that we are going to witness, the past of Somi and Sukram, we do discover as the film advances the deeper sense of who they are, no? Somehow there is for me, one of the most beautiful scenes in the film comes well towards the end of the film, where we witness in the middle of this desolate and beautiful landscape how Somi explains to her son her past and her essence, and why she did what she did, why they are where they are. And it's yes, of course, a scene where she's passing wisdom and pain in a very human form, cinematographic. And this wisdom and this confidence, of course, is shared with us, the spectators, and we cannot be indifferent to it. So my question is, of course, this film is a tool to make the world, and especially, I mean, the Naxalites, ex-Naxalites' life better and be accepted in a society. How has the film been perceived, of course, in India? Have you been able to spread the film around, of course, taking into consideration the crisis and everything, because I guess it's so important to share and let it do its work somehow, no?
I can start, and then maybe Arya can continue. We did manage to show the film in India. in an online festival. So we didn't manage to have much feedback. It was more, it was more through, people from the festival, uh, and less from the audience, the spectators, let's say. The current crisis we are going through for sure didn't make it easy to show the film that is anyway hard to disseminate even before this. So we will have one more screening in India. It's going to be online again. What we hoped previously was that we could bring Somi with us and Sukram to the screenings in India. This was our plan. It was very important for us that this would happen, that we would all go and Somi would have the chance to also receive some sort of feedback from people from India, especially. Well, it didn't happen, but I'm sure we'll find a way to do it, even if it's going to be in a smaller, intimate way. I think, maybe this year or next year we'll find a way, because, otherwise it really does feel like the film is not, the circle is not complete in a way, and it does feel until now like that.
Yeah, it's true that I think we will find a way to at least try where we can have Sumi with us and Sukram with us and then have a screening. With online screening, it definitely, like in person, it's always different. But because India is such a big country, that the online screening also, I think, had a little bit of its advantage, because a lot of people in different places and in smaller places, I think, could watch the film. I wouldn't say it was very big in number, but I think that was the unique part of it, which otherwise is difficult because most of the festivals happen in the big cities. Or one of the festivals where we had the Indian premiere was in the mountains, which kind of limits the scope of audience. So in this regard, there was a new approach to it. I'm not personally sure which one is better, but there was something new, I would say.
Yeah, I would say that one thing, like from the feedback that we had, like of people at festivals or from some reviews and stuff regarding the film itself, it was like, because in India, I mean, the Naxalite issue is like incredibly popular, especially on newspapers, and it's like a hot topic, which is not very well known abroad, but in India it is, of course. And usually like the common approach is like very polarized. Either people are condemning them very hard or others are supporting them. The general surprise in a way was to see this theme, this topic of the Naxalite insurgencies, to be treated from this personal point of view, because it's usually always treated like either as a news report, or the accent is always on the violence or on the oppression or something like that. And we had like several people saying, oh wow, I didn't think about it, like, you know, this is actually like a personal human side of it. And I would say that this was like a twist that people were not necessarily expecting, because usually it's always very sensationalized, you know, as a guerrilla kind of a thing. And some people were also like a bit disappointed because, you know, they were imagining a film that would be a bit more harsh, while they come across a very peaceful and sober and linear one. So, but I would say that this was a thing that surprised me a bit from some of the feedback that we had. And then maybe, I mean, one thing that it's not necessarily related to the audience is that because of the film, eventually, and because we were there and we were talking with all the officials, and I mean, we went through a lot of the bureaucracy with Somi. A little bit also was thanked because of the filming. The kid got the certificate in the end. So this, in the sense of a effect of the film in India, and it did raise the question in the region where they live about other kids that might have the same issue. And because most of the officials were actually very welcoming, but they just didn't think about these sorts of things. So yeah, in this sense, it's another effect, let's say, locally.
I'm so glad to hear that he got his certificate. This is the best news. It's a very happy ending. Yes, I mean, I guess that the way that sometimes these themes are treated in the media, and more nowadays, it certainly can dehumanize whatever the meaning is behind the human drive, behind becoming such a resistant force in society, you know, like Sumi and Shukram were. So I guess that I mean all these patience and that you dedicated to this film. I mean, even though you have faced the film has faced the harsh realities of this virtual world, I think that the fact that the film exists and that eventually you will find a way, of course, to liberate more the film outside of the festival circuit and into a more accessible format. I mean, for sure, I don't think that people can be indifferent to the theme, because it's especially a human experience, and that is what makes it so universal. You know, at the end of the day, this big word, universality of film, but yes, it's so specific and so human that, as I said, I think that when people like here in Mexico and all over Mexico, and not only, of course, the inhabitants of this big city where I am right now, which is Mexico City, they will really love your work. So I'm really grateful, like, to have you here, and I don't know if you would like to say some words, maybe to close this for the Mexican audiences and invite them to watch your film.
I mean, foremost, thank you so much for having us, and it would have been amazing if we could have come there personally, but nevertheless, this also counts, and it also really means a lot to us.
Yeah, same. I mean, thank you so much. Even this, like, even if it's online, this sort of meeting means always, like, me, at least personally, I always, as if I forget how much they mean. And then, okay, we're gonna have an online discussion, it's nice, but then it leaves so much, even if it's just online, that it's like really something, especially considering, yeah, that we're about to hit the 1 year anniversary of the release of the film. So it's really like a crucial time.
Yeah, I would also like to add that we are extremely honored to have the film at FICUNAM, which we know previously even from before meeting you in Rotterdam, and we have heard about FICUNAM, and everyone was saying very great things about the festival, about its curatorial line, and of course we dreamt of going to New Mexico. And yeah, and I hope that people from the entire Mexico gets the chance to watch it, even those who would not have been able to come to the festival. So I really hope it reaches now a larger geographical area in Mexico. And yeah, I hope people will resonate with Somi's story from the other corner. And yeah, thank you a lot.
Oh, thank you so much, Cristina, Isabella, and Arya. I'm sure that, as you say, I mean, it's going to be a great experience, a new one, and for sure, I think in the near future, I hope we will be able also to screen your film as it was intended to, as I saw it in a screening room with a bunch of people, and I'm sure it will happen very soon, and we will be able to witness your film as it should, in all its really beautiful form. And I appreciate so much what your work, the way that you work, and how inspiring it is to other filmmakers to work in such a way, because of course we have been taught a notion that film is such an individual and subjective force that could not be like separated, that you show otherwise, and with such magnificent results, that I really thank you, for your work and your spirit. Yeah. Thank you so much. And well, I welcome all, of course, the spectators, of course, of FICUNAM to witness your work, and of course to share their experiences once they watch the film, and hope to meet you soon somewhere in the world.
Yeah,
hope the same.
Keep up the good work. I hope that you are, of course, continuing your creative processes with all the limitations. I'm sure you are.
We are trying, yes.
Soon we will be able to gather. Well, stay safe, and thank you so much for everything, and keep in touch. I'm going to send you some pictures that I took of you in the award ceremony, and I wanted to do it 1 year ago, but
No way.
yes, I took so many good pictures of you, like celebrating. I will send them.
And it's perfect. 1 year after is better.
1 year after.
Much nicer.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you so much,
Thank
and good luck with everything. Stay safe.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.